never get it right. How are you?
Hi, I'm, hanging in.
I missed you.
I missed you too. It's been a long time.
I know, it's been a couple weeks. We decided to take a couple week break. Things kind of got up in the world.
Yeah.
And we just felt it was time to just listen and reflect for a little bit.
Yeah. It's not our turn to speak.
No.
That's not to say that we don't fully believe and support that Black Lives Matter and that having an anti-racist classroom is the gift that you can give the children in your care.
Exactly. And that takes work within. That takes I've spent the last few weeks learning and listening and reflecting, and I know that you've done the same, and a lot of other white people have done the same. And there's a lot of other people out there who can speak to anti-racism in classrooms. Maybe that's their platform and that's what they're already teaching. And so to look for those people for that information.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you have favorite people that you're following right now?
The tutu teacher on Instagram. You follow her?
I don't think so.
Oh, you should follow her. The tutu. I think she's called the tutu teacher, but I actually don't know her real name. I wasn't prepared to tell the people that I follow. A woman named Layla. Do you follow her? I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I think it starts with, I have her book, Me and White Supremacy.
Ooh, yeah.
So how about you?
I really like The Conscious Kid.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of amazing things, and also We the People, WEE the People, has been also doing some really great stuff with funding, like donating and raising money to donate. Conscious Kid has raised a ton of money.
That's wonderful.
To send books to teachers.
Yeah.
Among others. And We the People has also been doing a lot of good activism with young children things, as well as sharing meaningful art made by Black people that is accessible to children. Because music and art is equally important right now, as always. So surround yourself with that as a learning tool as well.
Definitely. I love that. So we're back, and I have some show and tell.
What are you going to share?
Are you ready to say it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What is that?
I don't even, this looks, maybe I
like
should.
A bird.
I have rocks. Rocks are one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. And it's one of the favorite things of everybody in my whole entire family. And obviously it's probably because I find so much joy and wonder in rocks. And so I've just fostered that in my children since they were small.
Or were they born with it? Is it like part of your DNA, Kristen?
Could be. So today, this is just an example. My daughter, Sailor, and I were at Trader Joe's standing in line outside waiting to go in. And there was some really big landscaping rock on the outside of the building. Like big rock. Like landscaping rock usually is like littler pebbles, this size or smaller. But these were like big. And so we were looking at all of the rocks. So we didn't have anything else to do in line. And I was like, oh, Knox would love that one. We should pick it up and give it to him for his birthday. And Sailor's like, oh, look at that one. That one's granite. I was like, oh, look at that one. That one has so many layers. That one's got to be sandstone. And so we were like totally geeking out about these rocks. And she looks at me and she's like, Mom, are we talking about landscaping rock? And I was like, we are.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
one of the books that I love to read with my class when we begin our time together at the beginning of the school year is Everybody Needs a Rock by Bird Baylor. And it is a book of about 10 rules of how to find the perfect rock. And there's all sorts of rules, like it has to fit perfectly in the palm of your hand. You have to pick it yourself. You can't let anybody else pick it for you. You got to get right down on the ground and look at it like eyed a rock to make sure that it's the perfect rock for you. But my favorite rule, you ready? This is my favorite.
I don't know if I am.
You have to smell it.
What does it smell like?
Well, every rock smells different. Yes.
I've seen you do this a lot, but I didn't really realize how much of a thing it was. I thought you were just kind of one of those people that sniffs things.
No, I love smelling rocks. They all have like a different smell. So we use rocks in our classroom for lots of things, but one of the main things that we do is we have a rock for each kiddo in the class, and their name is written on it in black permanent marker, and that's what they use to sign in every day to let us know that they're there. And when we're picking the rock, so we read Everybody Needs a Rock, and then they come up and they choose their rock. They look over all the rocks on the table and they pick out which one like is perfect for them, and then I smell it. And I tell them, because I have magical rock sniffing powers. So I can tell them exactly where the rock came from. So this one.
You're magic. You're magic.
So I know. This one is the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And this one came from a farm in Iowa.
Oh.
I know, I kind of smell gross. This one this one's from Antarctica.
Woo, a cold rock.
Yeah, and this one I don't have to smell this one to let you know where it's from. This one is interesting because this is a native to Minnesota rock.
I didn't know rocks could be native.
Oh yeah. So this one is native to Minnesota. It's a Lake Superior agate, and the only place that you can find them is around Lake Superior. And we actually found this one in landscaping rock. I know, right? But that's our favorite pastime as a family. We love to go rock hunting. So we find rocks from everywhere. Wherever we go, we have rocks all over our house. And at preschool, when kids go on trips, we ask them to bring back a rock. And then we write where it's from on the rock, and we have it in our classroom forever. And it's the most fantastic thing. And rocks are amazing.
That is so cool.
So that's my show and tell. If you don't have rocks in your classroom or in your house, you need rocks.
You need rocks. And just like 2 weeks ago, one of our newer teachers, Raquel, is also really into rocks. And we were walking by Trout Creek, and all of a sudden, like, all the kids are looking down at the ground with her, and they're doing exactly what you described of just like picking up the rocks and smelling them. And suddenly, like, I find cool rocks and I want to bring them places with me. And like, it's contagious, man.
Very contagious. I think we look at rocks on a daily basis at my house. And Knox is particularly obsessed. He just brought me this one in a little while ago so that I would show this one. This one must be like part of a geode. So it's actually like a slice buffed of a rock. And he loves to collect those sorts of things.
You have like a tumbler?
We do have a tumbler, but they take so long that we've never had enough patience to actually see them.
Yeah. I've wondered that about the rock tumbler. Like, is it worth it? Especially like the littler ones, like,
no.
Is it worth it, or is it more fun to just like have a rock that you found?
Right.
And the answer is to have a rock that you found, I think.
Yeah, Knox and I like to give each other heart-shaped rocks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so sweet. It's sweet.
I like to find alphabet rocks that look like.
I kind of started doing that, and then I was like, this is gonna take a really long time. I think I have like the letter D. I should send it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Next time I come visit, I'll bring it.
Bring me your letters.
Okay, what you got for show and tell?
I've got kind of an intense show and tell today.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to get too political. But I wanted to contribute something to the world right now that is helpful because I'm a helper. So I decided to show you this.
Okay. Oh, what's gonna be? Oh, whoa, where are you going?
So this is our emergency preparedness facility bug out bag.
Okay, hold up. What's a bug out bag?
A bug out bag is just like if you need to grab one bag and hightail it to the woods for the zombie apocalypse, can you live off of this bag?
Oh.
That's what a bug out bag is.
You can live off of that bag. Kind of?
For the most part.
Okay.
Because it's trickier. If it's just you, then like you can bring all kinds of stuff. But this lives in a childcare and is designed for 6 teachers and 30 children to survive for 72 hours. The goal is 3 days.
Okay.
72 hours is 3 days, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The goal is 3 days. I think you could probably survive longer than that in here, minus the food. And that's where things get tricky, because like I can't have a machete in here.
Right.
I can't throw in like a little handgun for catching deer.
Are you sure?
Like,
I'm
gonna leave that at school. But this bag has a bunch of stuff that you can put together, and I'll go through a little bit of it with you in a minute. But I also have my classroom bug out bag.
Oh.
Which is a little bit different. So the facility bag lives, right now it's in the staff bathroom, but I think it's gonna change to right by the front door. And the idea is that anytime you evacuate the facility, whoever sees it first takes it with them.
Okay.
This bag makes it outside. It comes with you. Classroom bags are designed to go with you on walks and hikes and adventures in the woods, and also in an emergency, grab the dang bag, because like, does it hurt to have extra Band-Aids? No, bring them all.
Exactly.
We have it set up where our children's emergency contact info for the whole school is in every bag, so that if only one bag makes it out, you can still call everybody's parents. Because like, what use is it if only the baby teacher gets her bag out after the fire? Like, that's not helpful.
Right.
So those are kind of the 2 levels.
Okay.
This one is designed for forest school. If there's an earthquake and we're stranded, could we live for 72 hours? It wouldn't be comfortable, but we could try. So those are like the 2 main premises. And I feel like...
You have a tent in there, just in case?
No, but I have 10 Mylar blankets.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, so a little, before I like dive into the full reveal, some things you need to know about me. 1, I went on my first camping trip at 6 months and I wasn't crawling yet. 2, I went on my first backpacking trip when I was 4 years old, and I walked like 10 feet before I sat on top of my dad's backpack for the entire rest of the trip. I've been doing multi-day backpacking trips my entire life.
That's
So
amazing.
to think about like, oh, how would I live for 72 hours with only things that I can carry is like a thing I already know how to do.
Okay, I don't.
So then I had to translate that into like, how can I and 30 children do that for 72 hours? And it gets a little tricky. There are things that, like I said, aren't going to be fun. We're going to be hungry. Unless it's salal season, and then we're just going to be like full of berries. But, you know, we'll have water. Let's get to it. Oh, there's more though. You also need to know, one of my first college jobs was at a nuclear reactor. Shout out to Reed Research Reactor. And one of the things that I did when I got hired on as their training supervisor was that I edited all of their emergency procedures and ran all of their emergency drills. So like, I know how to emergency.
Yes, you do.
And there are things that the reactor did that just like, oh, of course, yes, everyone should do it like this. But then like, now that I'm not in that job and I've had other jobs, it's like, oh wait, only reactor knows how to do that?
Oh.
Huh. So that's where the rolling suitcase comes from, is that like, there's certain things that you have to do in a nuclear reactor emergency that like the maintenance of it helps you prepare for life. So this is like how I've done this. Okay. Well, let's open it, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. right in front, you have emergency kit contents. It's all labeled based on where it is, and I just decided, like yesterday, as I was editing through what's in our bag, because you're supposed to go through it every 6 months, and it helps to go through it every 6 months. I realized, like, this is overwhelming. In an emergency, you want to say, like, I need this, it's in this bag, go. So I think I'm going to color code it a little bit better. I had been using paper ones, but I realized if I laminated it, I could check it off with a Sharpie and then clear magic eraser it off. And also it's waterproof now.
Wow.
I've also overnight decided I need a facility map on the back with fire extinguisher and major appliance stuff on the back, just to know. Because then it's just all in one place. It's handy.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
step 1.
Yes, totally.
Step 2 is our emergency procedures. So this lives, we have copies of these in every room. This one is the one that lives in the bag. The goal of it is that you have all of your emergency plan stuff, but then on page 20, which needs a tab, as I'm doing this, begins the actual emergency procedures. So let's get to it. So like the idea is that you have a plan of who are you going to call and what are you going to do.
Yes.
Then in emergency, you flip to the emergency plan.
Okay.
And it says, do you need to evacuate? Do you need to lock down? Like it has all the emergencies possible listed, and then it has the page number. So then you flip. Let's say that someone is missing or out of contact. We're going to go to page 23. So then it has in here all of the exact steps, who you need to notify, how often you need to head count, how do you organize your search party, right here. I don't have to think about it now. I already thought about it and wrote it down. The goal is that with a crazy emergency plan like this, you don't have to do any thinking, because you're not going to remember stuff. You're not going to say like, oh yeah, I moved my first aid CPR mask. Like you just need to know where it is and not think about it. Right. So that's what all this is about. You also need to know when to notify licensing, and you also need to know when the emergency is over. That's another thing that Reactor taught me, that like, when is it done?
Right.
You thought you'd need to think about that, but like, are all the kids united with your families? Cool. The emergency is done. Awesome. So that's the beginning. Okay. I don't know how in depth you want me to get about this, because there's a lot of stuff in here.
So I would say just start pulling it out and tell us what it is and why it's important.
Very top is our intense first aid kit. Yep. I decided to buy a pre-made one as opposed to assembling my own, just because it had better stuff for cheaper. Yeah. So I got a Surviveware like fancy version. Yeah. At the very top, shoved a bunch of easy storage water bottles. Oh. We've got, between this pack and all the classroom packs, I think we have like 40 water bottles.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the health and safety bag. It's kind of gross. I hope nothing's leaking.
Oh, okay, so like, why is it a health and safety bag and what's in it?
Okay, so this is, it's health and safety bag because I've labeled it health and safety bag. And it has things that specifically pertain to health and safety that aren't in the first aid kit. Okay. So here's a hot item in Washington right now. Every time at licensing, we're not allowed to have Neosporin in our classrooms. Okay. But like, are you kidding me? Yes, we're not supposed to use Neosporin on the kids every day, but if there's a giant earthquake and we're hightailing it into the woods and somebody breaks their leg, you bet your sweet bibby I'm rubbing Neosporin on that. Like, so, and then there's like other stuff we're required to have. Cold pack, Dr. Bronner soap. Do you know about Dr. Bronner soap?
I have used Dr. Bronner soap. But tell me why you love it.
I love it because it's an all-natural Castile soap that you can eat. Oh. So you can use this soap to brush your teeth. You can use this soap to wash your hair or your body or your dishes or anything. You can wash anything with this soap. I wouldn't eat it, but you can.
But you can.
Toothpaste, because like if you're stranded in the woods, a little creature comfort feels great, and that's like an easy bang for your buck. Extra thermometer, We have a solar thermometer hiding somewhere in that bag. That way you don't have to worry about batteries. Health and safety. Next one, I have survival. So we've got some walkie-talkies, we've got some hand warmers, because like the main emergency that we have out here is a lot of snow fast. So keeping little kids warm when you're evacuated. I've got some water purification tablets, and this is where we've got the Mylar blankets. They don't take up much space. This is another big bang for your buck.
That's one blanket?
This is 52 inches by 84 inches of blanket.
Wow.
They heat really well. You can make shelters with them, keep water out, wrap everybody up in it. You don't need very many of these to really make a big impact. That's our survival bag. And then the most useful bag is down here on the bottom. This is the tools bag, including the very important "we have evacuated" sign. So anytime we evacuate out of the parking lot, there's this sign that we write on with a Sharpie from the tool bag that we hang on the fence. That way, if the police come wondering where we are, they find us.
That's brilliant. I don't think I would have thought.
Very effective. Also, carabiners, really handy. You can do anything with a carabiner. I've got trash bags and glow sticks and duct tape, extra batteries, Swiss Army knife, scissors, safety pins, just like super glue is another really good one that like you cut your finger, super glue it. So that's our tools bag. Going through this bag lots of times is really helpful. I realize we don't have a can opener, and one of our big emergency food sources is canned goods. Okay. So, like, we could use that Swiss Army knife one, but if we had a real one, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, it would.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
A book. Like, I'm not carrying this thing on my back, so load it up. Right. Baby wipes are in here in the bottom, and a crowbar, because you never know what you're gonna need it for.
Okay, so
that's part one.
That's part one. Well, that's only part one.
So that's the facility go bag.
Okay.
And then there are also the teacher bags.
Okay.
Which have different stuff than this bag. Because this bag just carries the stuff that like you don't really need to have in every single person's bag all the time, but you all could use in an emergency.
Right.
Questions so far?
So, okay. You mentioned an earthquake.
Yeah.
Do you have earthquakes where you live?
No. But we're scheduled for the big one. Have you heard about the big one?
Is that the Yellowstone one?
The like one on the Cascadia Range. Every several hundred years, there's like a really giant earthquake here, but then we have none in between. And we're like overdue in the Pacific Northwest for a big earthquake. So that's like the biggest, scariest thing I could think of when putting this all together.
Got it.
I also realized that like I'd planned to have 30 bandanas that I just like somehow didn't make it in the Amazon cart. Bandanas are really useful for everything. Like you can make masks with them if it's like a gaseous breathing emergency, or like forest fire would be really helpful. You can make slings with them. You can wrap kids up in them. You could probably make a makeshift baby sling with it. Like,
oh my God.
Bandanas are helpful.
Well, like if there's ever an emergency, I would want my kids in your class.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm not that prepared. What do you do about shoes? Do your kids wear shoes?
Well, that's where wool socks was the two things that like are on my emergency list that aren't in the bag. A class set of wool socks. Yeah. Because they stay warm no matter what. And if the kids have shoes but don't have mittens, and like if you're a baby, a kid-size wool sock will fit your whole dang leg.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
brilliant.
they sell them for like 12 packs for $15 on Amazon. So like put them in here. In this one, it just makes sense.
Right.
And if you're in the field with kids, they're probably already dressed for whatever weather you have.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I never even thought about some of those things.
The bag is just from IKEA. It's like they're super cheapo. I mean, you never use it, right?
Right.
It doesn't have to function well. It just has to function.
Right. Yes. Are you going to show us the go bags or the bug bag? Bug out bag?
Bug out bag. Yeah.
Bug out bag. Okay, now you're going to show us the teacher one. I want to see what's in there.
Okay, so each bag has its own miniature first aid kit. These get used the most of anything in here. Just like, it has all the things. It's nice that you don't have to think about where it is. It's just all in this, and they come pre-labeled. This is another surviveware. They're great. Water bottles, plastic bags. They each have a hand crank flashlight and radio.
Yeah.
It has like a solar powered charger. I didn't even realize that. I'm glad I haven't ordered that yet for my bag. So like you can charge your phone on this bad boy.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's a flashlight, and it's got the NOAA radio, so it has everything you could possibly need in this cute little bundle.
Yeah.
Tape, Sharpies, toilet paper, and then this is a water filtration water bottle.
Okay.
So any water you put in here has like a filter and is clean water.
Oh my goodness.
But we don't use that. Like, we want to save this for the real emergency. You don't want to use this every day.
Yeah.
So then I also have like all my little doodads hiding in it. There's safe space. So we've got some glow sticks, lighter with duct tape. There's like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet of duct tape wrapped around it. Super glue. Always need super glue. Swiss Army knife. Because, like, I'm not going to be out in the woods with kids without one. Are you kidding me? Extra batteries, chargers, some string. It's like strong stuff, and a tube of Neosporin. Like I said, I'm not putting this on the kids every day.
No.
But if there's a forest fire and somebody's seriously injured, I'm going to put Neosporin on it.
Exactly.
Safety pins, always handy. I don't know what this is. I think it's a knife sharpener. This doesn't need to be in there. But those are like the basics to our bug out bags.
You are very organized and very prepared.
It feels good. Oh, there's more. There's more in the very front pocket. This is the most important pocket.
Okay.
More Mylar bags.
Yep.
Hand warmers. Bear spray.
Oh yeah, you have bears.
And pocket guide to after survival.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't have to remember how to make a makeshift shelter out of those Mylar tents. We just have to look it up.
Right.
And like everything's it has everything. Navigation, what to do if you're lost, air signals so you can like leave messages on the ground. Like, of course I'd spend $9 for that to never have to think about it again.
So like I think that it depends on where you are in the world too, because like some of those things we wouldn't need here.
Right, exactly.
You're out in the middle of the woods, in the middle of, like, for real. You're in the middle of the woods.
Definitely.
And so that is very beneficial for your program. Mine might look a lot different because we're in the middle of town.
Definitely. And I was thinking about, like, what would an urban bug out bag look like? It would be very different.
It would
Your main focus there is, like, where are you going to and how are you going to travel there?
Exactly.
Like, if there's a big crazy emergency, how do I get out of the city, out of the emergency zone safely with all these children? Which is a whole different set of worms from here.
Right. Ours would very much be getting in a bus and going somewhere.
Yeah. Ours is more like if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm coming here.
Yeah.
Like, how do we just stay here?
Exactly.
We have the fence. We have like so much food.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have, if somebody is interested in like seeing, are you willing to share your whole like emergency guide with people?
Yes.
And how would they find that?
So, it's all on the Play Frontier website.
Okay.
I have the list of everything that's in all the go bags. I have like a PDF version of that. And then I also have an Amazon list set up with everything. So you can just like find the thing. Because when I was making this, I was like, if somebody just had a list of everything, I would just like buy it all. Because when you're opening a center, you just have to have there. A bunch of the stuff in here we had to have for licensing.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not just gonna have a NOAA radio. I'm gonna have a NOAA radio that also fills all these other needs, so I can carry more things.
Exactly. Okay, so they can find that on it's
Play Frontier. That's on the Play Frontier website.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure. I hope it helped.
I feel motivated now to go do ours better.
Yeah.
The big thing that we have to figure out is like, how are we all going to go outside in like 30 degrees below zero with no shoes on? Mm-hmm. Like that's our biggest
problem, really.
Yeah. So it's so different, and you have to very much think through things. And I think a lot of states, that's part of licensing. You have to have some sort of a risk reduction or emergency preparedness plan. Mm-hmm. And they're very like time consuming and somewhat tedious. I don't like to do them, but it sounds like you really enjoy it.
I really do.
So I might go on Play Frontier and just like download yours and like use some of it.
Absolutely. Like the goal should always be not like, oh, this is terrible and soul sucking. The goal should be, I would like an IKEA level easy blueprint for what to do if this actually happens. Do the work now, so if it does really happen, you don't have to think about it at all.
Yeah.
Because like, your brain's gonna be in flight or fright mode. You need it all just right there.
Yeah.
I have so much more to say about emergency preparedness, but like that's another soapbox for another day.
Well,
I do love it. It's helpful.
Yeah.
And it brings comfort. Like, especially with when all the COVID stuff started happening, like it brought comfort to know we have all the hand sanitizer already. We have all the gloves already. Like we already had the stuff here so that we didn't have to panic, go out and get stuff to keep the daycare open because we were just ready.
Right.
When it works, it really is helpful. And like when it works, you don't even think about how well it's working. So.
Well, there you go.
Be emergency prepared.
Yeah.
Prepared, not scared is what they say.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, Tiffany.
Well, it's
been fun.
We'll see you next time on That Early Childhood.
Early Show.